Joel Embiid's making his case for MVP. Who's your MVP?
Good morning, Greeny. So when I think about the MVP race, a lot of it has to do with narrative. And as a voter, I try to eliminate that as much as possible when I'm trying to pick who's the actual best player that season, not necessarily who's the best player in the league. And while you were teeing me up, I thought about a couple of categories that people tend to vote towards when they vote for this award. First off, guys that miss games don't become a part of this conversation. I'll call that the Kawhi list. Just think about it. He's on one of the best teams in the league, the Los Angeles Clippers. He's one of the best players in the league. He has some of the best stats in the league. However, when we had this conversation, Kawhi just doesn't get mentioned because in our minds, he misses too many games. How about teams that we don't consider having great records? Luka Doncic is having an outstanding season. You saw the jump shot that he made from 3 to win the game the other night. And Steph Curry. He's had an outstanding season. He's not going to be a part of this conversation either. How about best players on best teams? Donovan Mitchell plays for the Utah Jazz. He has terrific stats, and they have the best record in the West. He's not a part of this conversation. How about Devin Booker or CP3? They're not a part of this conversation. So now let's drill down to what everybody's really focused on. Who they think has the narrative with their great season. The Joker with Denver has been outstanding, flirting with triple-doubles on a nightly basis, has been a consistent league pass performer all year. Joel Embiid, who you just broke down, who's been outstanding in the Eastern Conference as well. He talked about his stats and them being the best team in that conference. Giannis Antetokounmpo, if you look at his numbers compared to the years that he won it, they're fairly similar. But I'm going to interject another name that I want people to start paying attention to. How about Damian Lillard? CJ McCollum's been in and out of the lineup. Yet Dame Lillard is the guy, along with Steph Curry, that we've acknowledged is the best clutch performer in today's NBA. The best performer in today's NBA. He doesn't play alongside another All-Star. He does not play alongside another All-Star. So when you have this conversation, interject Dame Lillard's name. Your thoughts, Green Mamba?
Well, you will remember 3 years ago when we started this thing, how many times did I say you can't spell Damian Lillard without the letters MVP? I've been waiting 3 years for it to circle all the way around. But I want to go back to something that you said at the beginning about the players that weren't playing. And this year, because of the compressed schedule here in the second half, there were so many missed games, and I'm hearing it from fans like crazy on the radio. They are frustrated watching all these players, particularly with the Nets. We saw what happened on Wednesday night. What is your perspective as one who's been around it forever on the way that has gone this season?
The game has changed, ladies and gentlemen. And when I played in the league, there was a sense of pride in players that could play 82 games. Those days are over. Your favorite player will not play 82 games again. And they'll get the same money. And therefore, when you realize your job will pay you the same money, but taxing your mind and your body less days, you're going to choose to do it. And also, here's another reality. People continue to dismiss the importance of the regular season. Every time we start talking about who's the best player, who's the greatest player, you know what we do? Ring count. Look at stats. Look at analytics. So players say, okay, you're going to judge me by my turnovers? You're going to judge me by my percentages? Well, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take less chances. I'm going to only shoot when I'm open. I'm going to only play when I'm fresh. And so, therefore, players have realized I could play longer, make more money. And the other thing, Greeny, the teams are in on it too. There's so many squads that have training staffs that can tell you right now the games players are going to miss. They can tell you right now, this game he's going to play, this game he's going to play, these are the 5 that he's going to miss. It's not a surprise that Kawhi Leonard didn't play the other night against Detroit. I looked at their schedule. I knew he wasn't going to play. That's where we are in today's game.
Second game of a back-to-back, which they have tried to have fewer of, but this year with the compressed schedule, they can't do anything about it. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.